just taking a walk in the forest alongside Moraine Lake.
We are very high up. Don't know the number, but we are so high up that we're having trouble breathing. It's cold, but when we walk we're warm. And my legs are really aching and my head's got pressure from altitude.
We took a walk up the mountain from Moraine Lake, and this is just some of the views of the peaks around and also of the lake below. The colour of the lake is fantastic. Another squirrel. It was interesting to see the glacial action in the Valley of the Ten Peaks. See how the glaciers have scored the mountains and moved the rocks around the valley.
Windy, icy wind.
This was the last of our time in the Rockies. The next day we were to leave for Vancouver. Thankfully our time in the Rockies was mostly really good weather. And this is some of the country on the way to Vancouver. This is in central British Columbia, and you can see it's fairly dry apart from along the river valley with a fair bit of erosion. Quite interesting to look at. Getting now a little closer to Vancouver. This is travelling in the bus. And it was getting towards evening. Some nice farmland here. And here you see some of the unusual shaped barns they have. The moon rising. In Vancouver we went to the Vancouver Aquarium, and these were some beluga whales. They had a little pup, if that's what you call them, as well. And of course the usual attraction of dolphins. Different species from the ones we see in Australian parks. They did some shows, but tried to be more educational than just entertaining. This was quite an exotic display at the aquarium. Interesting to watch these creatures moving.
Waiting for somebody to give him food.
Yeah, they're popular. They hang out quite often.
我知道。
要喂食物给它，它就吃。
This is on top of Whistler Mountain, or almost to the top of Whistler Mountain, and the glacier there. We stopped and had some lunch next to this glacier. You'll notice it's pink colour, which I think comes from the rocks in that area. Quite unusual.
Got some close-up shots of the pink. Don't know really how well it's turned out. I have trouble focusing on it.
This little creature is a hoary marmot. We read that they spend the summer eating and hibernate most of the winter. And this one didn't seem too worried by us. Happily wandered around and scratched itself. Don't know where there was anything for it to eat much though. We took the open chair to the very top of the mountain, so we get the full view.
Hello!
Going up the mountain in the open chair was fine, but it was a little different coming down. This is the view from the top of Whistler Mountain, where they're going to have the Olympics in 2010. And it's hard to believe, but they actually ski straight down this slope in the winter. I guess there's a lot more snow around, makes it look a lot softer. This is the scary part, going down the mountain in the open chair.
Ready for another edge?
Oh,
Should be able to do this all year though.
yeah, I'm alright. It's not. Oh, this is the bit I don't like when we go over these things. Yeah, don't like that bit. Very peaceful out here.
It's very quiet. Peaceful, not too many people up here at all.
Going down the mountain in the gondola, we were enjoying some of the lovely colours of the vegetation at that time of the year, autumn, when we saw a bear. And another bear.
Stay right there, bear. Oh.
This is just a view of the pines coming down Whistler Mountain. Thought it was quite pretty. A little way down from Whistler towards the coast at Squamish, there is a waterfall there called Brandywine Falls, and here we were just walking along the path to the waterfall, which you will see shortly. And this is Brandywine Falls. I have to say, I think it was probably the prettiest waterfall that we did see out of quite a few.
This lake we canoed today for an hour and a half.
Walking through the forest to have a look at yet another waterfall. This is a little further on from Whistler into the mountains, and another beautiful river, obviously glacial fed by the colour of it. This is the view from a lookout tower on top of one of the office buildings in Vancouver. We went up shortly before we left Canada. Had a look around. You can see the view here of the harbour and some of the cruise ships pulled up at what they call Canada Place. We went to the IMAX theatre there at Canada Place. It was quite good. And coming out of the main section of the city. Somewhere across the other side of there is where we actually stayed, lost in that urban jungle. You see the copper roofs on some buildings. And over there past Stanley Park is the bridge across to North Vancouver. Now this is on the way home, flying to Los Angeles, and some of the mountains that we saw from the plane. Quite a fantastic view. There's the volcanoes in Washington. We spotted this, what appears to be a meteorite impact crater from the plane. Quite interesting. And here you have some of the hills behind Los Angeles, all coming that direction. Quite rugged looking mountains. From LA we flew back to Melbourne. Not what you'd call a pleasant flight, 14 hours in the air, and then home to Tasmania. And that was the end of our trip to Canada.